is up, Arrow fans? I'm Tommy from ZNT Comics, and welcome to my review of the Flash pilot. So, wow, this episode was really good. I actually got to see it a few months ago when it was leaked online, and back then, I didn't do a review, so this is my first review for the pilot, and I'm going to start out with my non-spoiler review, like I do with pretty much all my reviews. So, if you haven't seen the episode yet, no spoilers here, you're okay. Basically, the episode was really good. They definitely kept it safe, because the next episode is going to be like a 3-month time jump, so like really this was kind of like the origin of the Flash, and it was really good. I mean, I give it an 8 out of 10. It could have been better, but I think they were trying to keep it safe, trying to keep it on low key, and basically, I mean, the beginning half is like the origin. I mean, the whole thing is basically the origin of the Flash. It's not really in depth too much, and I feel like it could have looked a lot better in the theaters. I feel like the Flash origin is something that should have been done in the movie, like in a movie, but it was pretty good for TV, production rate and everything like that. But yeah, I really did like the origin of the Flash, but most of all, I just like the feel to it. I'm happy that CW didn't go with a dark field, because they didn't do what DC does with their movies. They didn't think about, Arrow is really good because it's a dark universe, so they weren't like, let's have Flash in a dark universe. No, they chose a brighter universe. It's usually always day, everything's kind of bright, and that's what the Flash is supposed to be. He's not a dark character. He's witty, he's funny, and this actor, of course, is pretty young. This Flash is only like 21 at the most, probably around 23 years old, to be honest, but that's a pretty young Flash, I mean, he has no facial hair or anything. I mean, obviously he can grow that, but you can just tell that this Flash is somewhat of a young character, so it's pretty interesting. And talking about like the theme and the tone of the episode, it definitely has that CW feel to it, where they kind of have that romantic vibe, and I guess the Flash is a little bit romantic, not that much, but he definitely has. I mean, the whole first of the beginning episode was really like Iris and like Barry kind of talking a lot, and it was good. I mean, that's what I guess the show needed it, but it definitely had that CW feel to it. But I'm glad that CW kind of gave the writers the opportunity and the directors to really make it a superhero-like show. And one thing about that is there are a lot of Easter eggs that I did notice. One very, very big Easter egg for Gorilla Grodd. That's not really a spoiler. Everyone really knows that. But yeah, so like I said, if you haven't seen the episode yet, you're definitely going to be satisfied. If you're a Flash fan, you're going to be satisfied. And if you're just watching the show and you don't know too much about Flash, for instance, my friend who just watched it, you're probably going to like it. It's a good show. I mean, it depends what kind of person you are. I feel like maybe the older audience wouldn't like it. This is definitely like it's not a young TV show, but it's not someone who's like, I don't know, like an adult that maybe just want to jump onto it. Maybe an adult will like Arrow a little bit more because it's darker. But, the Flash definitely has that more superhero vibe to it, and there's powers everywhere. I mean, they're not afraid to do that, of course. It's the Flash. I mean, how can you explain, like, the Speed Force without putting in other superheroes like that? So now I'm going to go into my spoiler review with a lot of spoilers, pretty much talk about the whole episode. So if you did see the episode, then keep watching. If you haven't, watch it. Come back to this part of the episode or my review. So this episode was really good. I mean, it was an 8 out of 10, but one thing I really did like about it was that they kind of show the development of the suit. I mean, like in the beginning of the episode, we kind of have the Cisco, I think it was, and basically 4 people know who the Flash is. We have Joe Iris, who is Detective Joe Iris, and that is Iris's dad. And then we have Harrison Wells, and then the girl and the woman who one is actually the Vibe. So Vibe eventually is going to get, brought to life as the actual superhero soon in this TV show. So basically, he's the one that develops the suit, and in the beginning, at the pretty much the whole episode, he doesn't have that centerpiece, but at the end, he actually does get that centerpiece. And we do realize that eventually, that's going to turn to the white centerpiece instead of red, where like the I guess like the lightning bolt is covered over. So eventually, that's going to change, because a lot of people do agree with the white version instead of the red. But I do like the suit; it works pretty well. It's just I don't like how they kind of have to show him without the suit a lot, just because it's like the actor and everything like that. That's kind of the problem with superheroes in pretty much any form of film, is just they always have to show the superhero without their costume on, because it's the actor. They had to get that recognition. But he was in the suit a decent amount, not that much. Like I said, this was the origin, so there's not really much to say. As far as the origin goes, it was pretty good. I mean, I did see this episode like 6 months ago or something, like when it was leaked, and I didn't really notice any differences besides one. The only difference I noticed was when they went to the coffee shop. This is when he first realized he has this power and everything slows down. They did play a different song. They played a newer song that people will probably recognize a little bit more, and I don't think they played that in the version I listened to, but it's literally the only thing I noticed. And there was that huge Gorilla Grodd Easter egg, which was awesome as well. And that's pretty much it. I mean, the end of the episode, we reveal that Harrison Wells is kind of a bad guy. He goes into a secret part of the Star Labs, literally opens up, sits down, or walks out of the wheelchair. So he obviously can walk, takes his glasses off, obviously he can see, and just literally stares at a newspaper in the most villainous way ever. And the newspaper states 3 things, or actually 4. One, that the Flash disappears in a crisis. Crisis on Infinite Earths type thing like that. And the date was April 25th, 2024, I think it was. So that's about, what, 10 years into the future. So obviously something's happening 10 years in the future. And then 2 other small headlines you probably didn't notice. One was that there were red skies, which hints towards Darkseid. And the other one was that Wayne Tech and Oliver, Queen Tech merged together. So they hinted Batman, they hinted Darkseid, they hinted Crisis, and they hinted the fact that there is time travel, somewhat of an event 10 years in the future. The last character I want to talk about would be Eddie Thawne. Eddie Thawne is, of course, the Reverse Flash, and currently he is working for the Central City Police Department, and he's actually dating Iris West. So it's pretty interesting because, of course, Barry's kind of a little bit jealous of that. He likes Iris, but it looks like Barry's actually going to be dating Felicity. So it's pretty interesting because I thought Felicity was going to be dating Arrow, because from what I saw in the review trailer and everything like that. So it's kind of confusing because we did see in the preview for the next episode, which, like I said, is like 6 months into the future. So it's not like a jump into the future. It's just the next episode is not going to be like the day after. It's going to have a substantial amount of time in between, because when you think about it, this connects with Arrow. Pretty much the pilot of Arrow and episode 2 of The Flash are going to be in the same time period. The pilot of Flash was actually like 6 months before the pilot of Arrow. Probably got confused there, but basically the pilot of Flash was just a little bit behind on like the timeline, basically is what I'm trying to say. But sorry, confusing is the fact that Felicity was dating Arrow, or is going to be dating Arrow in this next season of Arrow Season 3, but we did see Felicity just kissing Barry in this recent preview for episode 2. So my guess is that Felicity goes to Barry and then goes to Oliver, but I don't know why they would already spoil it by saying that, oh, yep, Oliver is dating Felicity. So maybe that's the reason they're going to be fighting over in episode 8, which is going to be the crossover event. Swear to God, I hope if that is the reason why Arrow and the Flash, 2 superheroes, are fighting over Felicity, I will quit. I will quit YouTube. That would be stupid. People actually hinted that towards me when I talked about what do you think the reason is, and I didn't even believe when they said that, but it's just pissing me off that it could actually be true. So that's pretty much it for the episode. I mean, we got the origin of the Flash, Eddie Thawne's dating Iris West, a huge Easter egg at the end of the episode, and of course Gorilla Grodd Easter egg. Not really much to say. I mean, the Flash can go so far 700 miles per hour. Suit looks great. Really excited to see episode 2. That is going to be the real reason. I see episode 1 as just a pilot, an easy pilot, but episode's 2 going to be my real okay, what is this direction of the TV show going? And we do know that they're not afraid to bring in a lot of the heroes, or villains I should say, such as Captain Cold. He's not going to have powers, but he is going to be in the TV show. And we do know that Firestorm is also going to be there, and Killer Frost. So Killer Frost, Firestorm, Vibe, all are in the Flash TV show. I mean, you do have the Atom, Ray Palmer, in the Arrow Season 3, so eventually maybe he'll move over and have his powers of shrinking in the Flash, which should be awesome. I can't wait to see that on TV. I really want to see that happen before we get an Ant-Man movie. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of my review. I give it an 8 out of 10. What do you give the Flash Season 1, Episode 1 pilot review? What is your review? Put it in the comment section down below. And by the way, don't forget to like this video. A simple 100 likes and you'll get my next review. I'm also reviewing Arrow, Constantine, Gotham, and Walking Dead. All those shows I will be reviewing, so definitely check out my channel if you like any of those shows. I also do a lot of other things such as Mortal Kombat and Batman Arkham Knight news. So anyway, thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I'm Tommy from Z&D Comics, and you have a great day.
Ready, aim, fire.